Hello, welcome to my 1500 Dreaming Spanish update. Finally, we are done with the roadmap. We are done. I'm so excited about that. I am filming this video about a month after I finally finished the roadmap. So yeah, just a little bit of background about me. I started the Dreaming Spanish roadmap on February 1st of 2024. So I have completed the roadmap in a little less than 2 years. I officially finished on November 14th of this year, 2025. And yeah, I'm just so excited. I've been posting my updates on my experience following the Dreaming Spanish roadmap since 600 hours. I did a 600-hour update, 800-hour update, and a 1,000-hour update. So yeah, we're finally here at the 1,500-hour update, and I'm really happy about that. Like, I don't know. And now that I'm living life after the roadmap, things are good. I'm actually having a really good time. But yeah, just like always, I really like to go word by word to compare myself to the roadmap. So let's go ahead and get into that. I have notes over here, so to make sure that I'm following everything properly. Let's start with the very first sentence. So you can understand any general content effortlessly, including newspapers, novels, and all types of TV shows and movies. You might struggle with technical text and unfamiliar fields, heavy regional slang, etc., etc. So this, I would not say the proper word to use is effortlessly. I would not say anything is effortless. There's still a lot I don't know, and I think whenever they say based on regional context, I think that they say it like it's not a big deal, but at least for me, as I have advanced, I feel like that's the biggest thing that's holding me back. The amount of regional slang and colloquial phrases and terms that I'm still not used to, that I still don't know well. But it's like, I don't know. I watched Bridgerton recently, for example, and that was pretty good because, I mean, that's supposed to be like neutral Spanish since it was dubbed in Spanish. So, I mean, like, yeah. But at the end of the day, that's not real life. Most people are not speaking like that on the street. So I think in that way, after the roadmap, if you haven't already, I think more than ever, it's very important to kind of like lock in a little bit to really hone in on like more regional types of vocabulary, phrases, everyday things. So this next one, I think, is maybe the most controversial part of this part of what you can do at 1,500 hours. You speak fluently and effortlessly without thinking about the language. While native speakers might still detect a slight accent, your clarity and fluidity make your speech easy to understand, and no one considers you a learner anymore. You may still make some mistakes, but it doesn't hinder you from being an effective member of society. Bueno, creo que esta parte es un poco pesado, ¿no? Y creo que también hay mucha gente que ya dijeron que para ellos no es exactamente la verdad, y creo que para mí no es tampoco. Porque sí, obvio, para mí es un poco difícil hablar en una manera que tiene mucha fluidez, y obvio tengo mis problemas de gramática, también quizás pocas cosas de pronunciación también. Pero bueno, es así. Creo que es muy interesante más que nada. Creo que es muy curiosa porque como... Ok. El roadmap dice que para nosotros es mejor que esperemos para hablar hasta 1,000 horas, ¿ok? Y luego con solamente 100, 500 horas, vamos a hablar con fluidez y sin fuerza. Es como, bueno, no sé, es un poco extraño, ¿no? Porque es como durante esas 500 horas, es como, ¿cómo voy a hablar tanto? Especialmente porque estoy más enfocada en las horas de input. Bueno, una cosa que sí puedo decir que estoy de acuerdo es que con 1,500 horas sí puedo vivir en una comunidad hispanohablante. Porque, bueno, tengo mis clases de ballet completamente en español. También tengo mis citas como médicas, como ir al dentista, ir al doctor, cosas así. Y sí, Las hago completamente en español, sin traducción, sin ayuda. Para mí es muy fácil en esa manera. Y creo que las citas médicas son cosas muy importantes, ¿no? Así que sí, creo que en esa manera es muy posible. Bueno, nada. Creo que esos son mis pensamientos sobre ese tema. Porque nada, hay mucho para mejorar para mí. Obvio, hay mucho, pero mucho. Y sí, nada. Okay, and then moving on. One thing I want to say is for the part about what we need to do, I absolutely loved it. I love it. I think it's so straight on. It really encompasses my plan very well moving forward. I just want to continue, really focusing on colloquial language. I really want to continue reading more than anything, which we're going to talk about in a second. I think reading is fundamental. But yeah, I'm just continuing to grow my vocabulary in a way that I can really be well-rounded in Spanish. Now for reading and writing. So I was trying so hard to wait until I got to 1,000,000 words to make this video, but it's just not happening. So to be transparent, I'm not at 1,000,000 words, and actually they say that you should get up to 3,000,000 words, and then like you're really gonna I don't know, like the wheels are really gonna be turning. I was just planning to count to 1,000,000 because I don't really have a lot of interest in continuing to count. I just don't. And to 3,000,000 is a lot. Like, y'all, I'm not gonna lie. Like, for me, it's like I read a lot. Like, I have an extensive list of all the reading I've done. And I'm not gonna lie. There's also a lot of reading I've done that I haven't counted. So I could very well be at 1,000,000 because I've read a lot of articles. Like, I've done a lot of that like I just never counted. So I could be at 1,000,000. My brain is kind of giving she's at 1,000,000. But that's neither here nor there. The point is that, it's outlined in the Dreaming Spanish Roadmap. So I wanted to talk about it because it's a very important part, and it's a part I did not skip. In fact, it's a part I started early because I love to read. I love to read, and I think being able to read in another language is so exciting and part of motivation. It's very motivational for me. So I've been reading for a while. More recently, like within the past year or so, I picked it up more and more. As I got out of like graded readers, only reading webtoons territory, and I was able to start picking up books that are more interesting. I did a few of The Magic Tree House and those types of things, but now I'm kind of just like, what do I want to read today? And I'm able to do it. Right now I'm reading like a independently published author from Spain because I wanted to read something Christmassy. So yeah, and I'm actually having such a good time with the book. I would recommend it. But anyways, yeah. So I think for me, the reason why I wanted to put reading in here is because reading has made me so much more stronger, y'all, in so many different ways. And I think it also plays a lot into the way my brain works. I'm very visual, and being able to literally see words like just makes so many light bulbs go off for me, more than listening ever has. And that's part of why I took this approach, because if I didn't have Dreaming Spanish, I wouldn't have listened. Because I just don't like listening. Like, I'm just not a listening girly. I'm just not like, I would just learn better a lot visually. And so in the past, I always just kind of ignored listening. And then what happened? I couldn't understand anybody. So whenever I decided to learn Spanish this go around, I was like, yes, I have to listen. And Dreaming Spanish made that so effortless for me. That being said, I've still gotten so much out of reading, and I love reading. And I think it's, like I said, reading is fundamental. I think it's so important, and I'm able to learn vocabulary so much more faster. I'm able to make connections grammatically so much more faster, and I don't know, it's just fun. It's also fun. Like, hello, like I'm reading like whole novels in a different language. Something I always dreamed about, but never thought I'd be able to do, and now I'm here. I don't know, it's exciting. It's exciting stuff. And as a result, I would say my writing is something I never have actually practiced, and it's more like because I almost don't need to, writing is like my number one way I'm able to express myself in the best way possible. Like, speaking for me, I don't love to speak. I'm not the best at expressing myself verbally, but through writing, I'm very coherent. I'm able to express myself so much better. I've always been like that. And so I think that also shows very naturally in Spanish, where it's like, I've never really had a lot of issues where I needed to practice writing. I actually do write. I wouldn't say a lot, but I've written some journal entries. I text a lot with friends, these types of things, and I've never found it to be difficult or something that I really need to hone in on. But yeah, that being said, yeah, that is where I am at. Now that I am done with the roadmap, I am not counting anymore, and I'm having the best time ever. I'm not gonna lie. It's so weird. My brain is very paradoxical in that way, because it's like whenever I had to get my input, sometimes there was days where I'm like, I don't want to do this. Like, I don't want to do it. And now that I don't count, I'm very happy to just be sat doing things in Spanish. And it's just from the knowledge that I can. Like, well, I can watch stuff in Spanish. Now it's like, I want to, because it's, I mean, obviously I'm still learning, but it's not coming from a place of like, you have to learn, you know, you have to count these hours. And so it's been very freeing for me, but I'm so happy that I got to do this experiment and just like kind of see for myself how it all works. And at the end of the day, Dreaming Spanish has helped me so much. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't ever have known about the world of comprehensible input. If it wasn't for everybody doing their updates about it, I would have never gotten intrigued by it. So I mean, this is my first time I've gotten this far learning a language, and I have been trying to learn languages since I was like 11, like actually. So it's a really happy moment for me. Obviously, there's still a lot of work to do, but at the same time, I have come very far, and I'm very proud of myself for that. And so, yeah, very exciting. One thing I also want to mention, just in case anybody wonders, because this is like a big hot debate, is like whether you use subtitles or not. And I mean subtitles in Spanish, never, ever in English. I do use subtitles, but I'm very picky about it. I will use subtitles only on like series on Netflix. I give myself that right, because I also tend to use them in English. So I'm just like, why wouldn't I use them in Spanish? I also like it because I've noticed that, like I said earlier, it's like the more advanced I get, the more reading really is like my number one thing, because whenever I'm able to like actually see the words on the screen, I also remember them better. I just do. I pick up a lot more vocab whenever I'm able to see the words visually rather than just hearing them. So it also helps me with connections, pronunciation, things like that. So I just really like it, and I think it's actually extremely helpful. And I don't think it has hurt me in the real world at all, actually, because I also do have the side of it where wherever I'm watching YouTube videos, whenever I'm doing like, you know, content for learner, I never ever use any subtitles at all, because I wouldn't use them in English, so I don't use them in Spanish. And so, yeah, that is a little bit more about what I've done on this journey. But if you have any questions, please leave them down below. And if you were also on this journey, you know, it's so worth it. Keep going. Let me know how it's going for you in the comments below. And thank you guys so much for watching. Happy holidays, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.